I'd just like to introduce my two colleagues here, Olivia to my left and Patrick also beside Olivia here. It's a three-part presentation we're going to give. First off, I'm going to give a global oversight of where we're at in terms of ourselves within the Cork ETB, that's the Cork Education Training Board, which is the organisation we all work for. But we're not in all the same centres. We in fact only introduced ourselves on the flight, before the flight to here. So we're not long comrades. We're now, as it were, bonded after this week, to say the least. So, just to introduce what I do. My name is Redmond Jennings. I'm Deputy Principal within one of the campuses, within one of the colleges in Cork. It's the Cork Further Education and Training, and the campus I work for is Douglas Street campus. Behind me you see a picture of the campus itself. You can see here that I'm right in the centre of Cork City, which is right on the south of Ireland. And in the city centre, when you come to Cork, if you come to Cork, you will notice that there is two tributaries here of the River Lee. And Cork in Irish, which I'll refer to now and again, is Corkic. And Corkic means marsh. So Cork actually is on a marsh. And we're prone to flooding hugely within that city, within our city. It's an ongoing problem which we have. The college which I am in, the campus which I am in, is over here on the south side of the city. Now, when we look at the county of Cork, it's down the south of Ireland, and it's one of the largest counties in Ireland. And it's one of the largest education boards that's in charge of education in Ireland. It covers a huge area. For instance, Olivia, and she will actually talk more about her centre and what she does after me. She's over here on the border here between Waterford and Cork in Youghal. It's on the eastern side of Cork. Over here on the west, in Clonakilty, and again, Patrick will explain about his centre. He's in the west side of Cork. So therefore, there's a representation here from the east, from the centre in the city here, Cork City is here, and from the west. They're the three centres which we work towards. And we all work for the Cork Education and Training Board, which is, again, a very, very large organisation. If you add up the number of learners that are actually there, for instance, there's 7,500 full-time FET participants, further education and training learners or students. There are a further nearly 8,000 learners part-time within that. There is nearly 11,000 post-primary students within that. There is 4,500 adult literacy learners, and again there's community education learners as well. And down here you have apprenticeships and so on and so forth. If you add up all of those figures there, you're up to 37,000 learners within the Cork Education Training Board. So it's very large, to say the least. Now, for where I'm located within this figure here, the 4 further education colleges, but in fact there's 5. There's 5 campuses, and we've actually come together and integrated into one centre, into one college, which is the Cork College of FET, and there are 5 campuses within that. The campus which I'm in is this one here, and I'm deputy principal within that. So it's quite a large area. We have a centre here which is an old church with St. John's, and in fact formerly we were known as the St. John's College, St. John's Central College. The building here is a relatively new building. It's 4 levels, and again there's a quad in here of a canteen, there's apartments over here, there's a literacy centres and so on. So it's all of that area. Now, when you're in Cork, you get a guided tour around that happily. So again, just to explain some of the organisations which we work under. In the first instance, as I referred to, was the Cork Education and Training Board. That's our logo. There's Solace here, which is the funders. They're the guys who have the money, who hold on to the purse strings. And again, down here, our certification body is the QQI, Qualification and Qualifications of Ireland, and they're the certifying body that we certify our students with. So they come out with awards in that by QQI. If you notice, all of those logos are in Irish and English. The Irish comes first, the English comes second, of equal standing. There's one logo in there that doesn't follow that, despite the fact that it's by law, by statute, you have to follow those guidelines. And if you notice, there's one here that has qualifications, qualified Irish, and the Irish comes second. Now, somebody could argue that that should be the other way around. I won't argue it, but it's there. So, they're the 3 bodies which we work for. Now, our campus itself, there are some of the pictures from the campus. Right in the heart of Cork City. Again, it's a modern campus with quite a lot of modern facilities and so on. In the current year, we have 732 full-time students with 54 courses in total. We have 500 part-time students, part-time day students. We have 600 evening part-time retired people's networks, Adult Ed and so on. We have an Apple Regional Training Centre where we train teachers and education staff in Apple software and technology and so on. In total, that's approximately 2,000 learners that we're actually dealing with on a yearly basis, a daily basis. So again, it's quite large in terms of what we do. If you go to what I'm supposed to be dealing here is the difficulties including sustainability into the curriculum, standalone sustainability courses, micro-credentials, special purpose and minor awards, and offers also staff training. Now, if I look at what we're supposed to be doing, for funding within our college, within our campus, we deal with a level 5 and 6. Now, you know already that within Europe, there are 8 levels that you work to generally within Europe. In Ireland, we actually work to a total of 10 levels. And within our campus, we deal with level 5 and level 6. In other centres, as will be explained, we cover level 3 and level 4. So, currently, within further education and training within Cork, we're dealing with levels 3, levels 4, 5, 6. Some centres even do levels 1 and 2, but generally it's levels 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now, I'll come back to that in a minute. But if you actually look at the courses itself, and specifically if you look at, if I want to look at nationally what courses are there in sustainability, I could do a search, and there are the full-time courses that are there nationally in sustainability, so I could pick whatever course there full-time. If I go and look for evening courses, again, I can pull up courses like that there. And a lot of these courses are evening courses. And again, if I want to pull up, online courses, there are quite a number of online courses as well. So there's a lot of out there in terms of sustainability. But specifically, if you come back to the Cork ETB and what they're doing. For instance, here, there's a new course being offered here at level 5 in Certificate in Environmental Sustainability in the Workplace. That's a new one coming on stream, and I know it's coming on stream, and there are more and more courses coming on stream within Cork. Now, coming back to us as a centre, we offer a huge number of courses, and I want to throw that up just for the moment because it's not specifically sustainability courses that we have specific ones for sustainability, but we certainly would try and integrate a lot of the sustainability elements into our courses themselves. And I'll give you some examples of that. But if I wanted to specifically look at specific courses that we offer, for instance, we offered in the past Sustainable Energy at level 5, and we were, back in 2009, 2010, offering that. Now currently, we offer specifically Sustainable Energy course here in technology from 2013 presently. But again, I have to emphasize that in all of these areas, we look at sustainability in terms of what we do. I'll give you one example of that. This is a project in interior architecture. And the project was to design a log cabin using recyclable products, etc., materials in a sustainable way. In fact, that project was only given 2 weeks ago to our interior architecture students. And student 1 came up with a huge design. And I'm just being specific to this one particular area. The student there designed a whole log cabin and used all recyclable products within that. And everything was environmental friendly, was eco-friendly, and so on. So the more they did it, the more extra marks and results they would get. That's student 1. I have a second example here of a student using, again, recycled products. For instance, if I read the first line there, by living in a green home, we are reducing our carbon footprint and protecting the environment. In this cabin, I am attempting to choose eco-friendly materials, pick environmentally conscious finishes, and use sustainable lighting finishes. Again, all the wall paint and all the products being used are sustainable, recyclable in a sense. There is one student that featured just last week, and I just want to pinpoint this particular student. She was one of that group of interior architecture students, but lo and behold, she's a Ukrainian student. And she featured on our local newspaper, the Irish Examiner. So they did a whole piece on her. And the caption was, Ukraine is a design nature just as Ireland is, a nation of music and storytelling. Design is in their blood. In fact, within our education system at the moment, the figures actually only came out yesterday. There's close on 25,000 students within our system, from primary through to post-primary through to further education, with a total of 80,000 Ukrainian refugees and so on. Again, like most other countries, when the situation arose, you brought in refugees and so on. Similarly in Ireland, we're doing likewise. But the point really here is the symmetry between foreign nationals who come in and readily take part in the education system. And we seem to be very much in tune with what we want and where we want to go in terms of sustainability and so on. Going on a little bit further, and future plans in terms of what the ETB are going to do, the Cork Education Training Board are going to do. For instance, it has been highlighted that the 4 key areas that we're actually going to focus in on is sustainability, computer science, performing arts, and finance. Sustainability is at the heart of that. And what they're planning is that students would spend 2 years with us and a further 2 years in higher education. So there's a clear pathway through. And you can see here, it's Pathways Projects New Horizons. So it's a 2+2. That's the intention. That's where we want to go to. We have links with universities and so on, but the links are with the university as a sort of an add-on. This one is a clear program that's going to be worked through, right through 2 years to higher education. And the first 4 areas, and you can see one of the areas up there is in sustainability. So, you see where we're at, you see where we came from, and you see where we're actually going to go in terms of this. Coming back, therefore, to this grid again, you will see that we started with level 5, level 6 in terms of what we do in further education. We're going to speak more about level 3 and level 4. So in effect, what's going to happen is we're working with levels 3, level 4, level 5 and 6, and then because of, say, the 2+2, 2 years with us and 2 years in higher education, in fact, that will actually extend to level 5, 6, 7, and ultimately level 8 as well for our students. So that's the block of levels that we actually be dealing with. So, Gurov Mahmood, thank you very, very much. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Redmond. Thanks, Redmond. Great. I won't keep you too long, but anyway, I've had a great week, listened to all your presentations and the focus group, and here's just a little sample of what I do in Youghal. So, Youghal campus, as Redmond was saying, we cover a lot of QQI level 3 and level 4. And currently, I am delivering a QQI level 4 course on sustainability. So our target audience, Youghal itself, on the last figures, Youghal had just shy of 8,000 people population in the direct catchment area of the town. It has since increased because obviously we've welcomed a lot of Ukrainians into the town. And again, like with Redmond and your campus, they're attending our campus, and it's great because they're just bringing in so much different energy and enthusiasm for learning. So our target audience, I'm very greedy because I want to have everyone involved in sustainability. But how we're working with it at the moment, because the course, as Redmond was saying, is new to Cork ETB, you know, sustainability courses like standalone themselves. So we are doing a lot of advertising on social media, but we're also talking to all the students who attend campus, be them, you know, day students, evening students, you know, part-time courses, even just like, you know, open days and, you know, weeks that we have, open weeks, just to make people aware, like lifelong learning course, which is actually taking part this week. So I'm getting away with not having to do a presentation for that. But anyway, yes, so like And because I'm involved in horticulture myself, I have a lot of contacts in horticulture and agriculture, so I'm using all my links to work with people and get them involved and get them trained up, and to bring them in. So we've had a great response to our, advertisement for the courses. But one barrier that is there, and hopefully it will change, a lot of people are looking, as Redmond had up on the framework for the qualifications, they're looking for 6 and 7. But what we would like to do is we'd like to start at the entry level and make it easier for people to then go and do like level 6 and level 7, because the workload is it's very heavy when you go to do a level 6 and level 7, and it's nice if you can cover a lot of the groundwork at the level 4. So we have done a lot of, as I said, like we worked a lot on social media, and it's proved like really well, and we've got a lot of interest. So some of the topics that we cover, obviously climate awareness, and basically, like making, making the, information available, then like obviously people gain better understanding and then better buy-in, and then the principal effects that we have had ourselves, like the Anthropocene area, and what we have done in such a very, very short time to our planet and to our local area. A lot of the students who attend my courses, I have such a diverse class. Like I have Lithuanians, I have Americans, I have Irish, I have English, and obviously Ukrainians, but it's great because a lot of the people who are from the area, they have seen the changes that have happened, and it's great that they're able to share it with the people like myself, because I'm fairly new to the area. I'm not there 3 years yet, so it's great that I'm learning from them as well. And then the really heavy stuff. Basically, I want to let them know, what guides, what we deliver in our training. So we have the United Sustainable Development Goals, and it's very surprising that these goals are around since 2015, and not one person on the course was aware of these goals, which I think is rather poor, that it isn't out there more, in our society, because as United Nations, we're supposed to be working towards these goals. I also make them aware of the, what's happening on a European level. So the European Green Deal, and working for, the climate neutral continent, the first one by 2050. That's Ursula von der Leyen's aim, and that was her speech that she gave in 2019, I think it was. But sadly, research that came out last week with the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, and they're basically the body, the scientists that guide all the policies, like they're the gold standard scientists for the world, basically. They're highly respected and from all different fields. Well, they're actually saying now last week that it's actually more severe and worse than what we actually thought, and they would like us to revise our 2050 to 2040 to help have a more sustainable planet and not go past the tipping point. Now, only last week did I deliver the dates to my class, so now I have to go back on Wednesday evening and tell them it's now all changed. And that's what's, I suppose, very important that we need to know, because we need to keep following the science, and we need to keep up to date in our own practice and just be following what is happening. And then on a national level, we're guided by the European Sustainable Development Goals, but also we're guided by the European Green Deal, and then our policy itself is our Climate Action Plan, and we review that every year. So this year, obviously, we're working off 2023. So some very heavy classes I've had to deliver to them. So this is Cork itself, the actual county, the boundaries. That's what it looks like. So basically, I think it's very important that people do know what's going on, like basically in their county. Yes, I mean, it's very important to know what's going on globally, but in their county themselves. And we follow a lot of things that are going on. and like basically for the challenges that they pose. So for example, in Youghal itself, it's a coastal town and parts of it are very low lying. And in the next in the next number of years, if obviously we don't reduce like the temperature and don't have further impact, by 2050 they expect a lot of it to be actually underwater. And we depend so much on tourism, just like here in this lovely town here. So it's really important that we look after what we have. So, and this is a map that kind of gives you an idea. When I showed this to the class, right, they were absolutely horrified, you know, because a lot of people live in that area that actually come into my class. Their homes are in that area that will be flooded. And you can do these climate central maps. They're brilliant. You can look, and there's lots of different like menus that you can go into for different information. They're very good. I work a lot. I have a lot of links with like local groups, as I said, but one group that I work with is Youghal Community Blue and Green. So blue is for the sea and green is for on land. And basically they do a lot in the community to help combat climate change, work towards like keeping the beaches clean and also, you know, enhancing biodiversity. And their vision is that Youghal will be healthier and cleaner for everyone to live and work in, not just for now, but in the future as well. So this is the city wall. And so it's a designated heritage town, but it's one of the only few towns in Ireland that has a medieval wall still intact. And this here, I love it, it's the Watergate. So basically, so the town is up here, and on my side here is the harbour. So that was the gate from the harbour and into the town for the Watergate. And it's a very beautiful town. We have a lot of listed buildings. Unfortunately, there's a lot of buildings empty at the moment because they're listed buildings. It can be very difficult to navigate planning at the moment. And then along with Dublin, so Cork is to become one of the first climate neutral cities in Europe. So it's very exciting. And there's a project that's been ongoing for a number of years, and I'm sure you're aware of it, the Clean Air campaign. And there's robots in the center of Cork City, and they're helping clean the air. But there's the screens on them, the seats, right? So you can sit down and you can look at your screen and you can watch. It's like literally, it's live, how clean the air is and all the data. And it's very important, I think, because then people can make more choices and they'll realize how better it is to have clean air when the air is poor, you know, but that they can see it in real time. So just last month, Cork ETB in its current form celebrated 10 years. So yeah, we've been around a long time, but in its current form, 10 years. So we had an open day on campus, and part of the open day, we had drumming. So drumming seems to be very popular, but it was very good. But we also had a sustainability tour on the campus. So there was a lot of people there. There were students, there was tutors, visitors, some parents, and then just people who were passing along the road wondering what the commotion was all about, because obviously all the drumming. But I got a lot of people to do like the walk with me, and we went around the campus and I was showing them like what we have done and what we plan to do. So recently with the students on campus, and they're great workers, I have to say, like we've planted loads of native trees, but we've also explained why we're planting native trees, and then native hedging and providing habitats for biodiversity. We've also added more growing areas for fruit and veg, because we know like how important now it is, food security for us all. It's really important that we all, you know, try and grow or try and provide, you know, like a more sustainable life for ourselves. We also have wormeries, which of course the younger adults love, you know. And well, I mean, I love them anyway because I love bugs, but I mean they're fascinating, you know. And then we also introduce hugel culture, so we're not spending lots of money bringing like topsoil in or compost in. We're actually making our own soil there, you know, and it's breaking down and building down over years underneath what we're growing on top of. It's a great system. I have lots more plans. I don't know how far I can push, but I keep going. But I mean, I'd love to have ponds and everything on campus. But obviously, to be sustainable, I have to be aware that it has to work for everyone. So, and that's me. Thanks for listening.
Hi everyone, thank you. That was fantastic. That was a great presentation. I don't know what else I could possibly say after that, except just to say that, so my centre is in Clonakilty, as Redmond has mentioned. It's a very cute little town, about 60, 70 kilometres west of Cork, Cork City that is. It's one of the many centres in West Cork. We service about 250 students, learners in that centre, which is pretty good going for a rural location in Ireland. We have many core subjects like IT, horticulture, which is what I teach. We also do English. We have many foreign learners around West Cork who come and learn English in that centre. They're the core subjects, and then we do loads of other subjects around, like craftwork, sewing, carpentry. We do lots of carpentry. We use the sawdust from the carpentry workshop actually for our compost bins up on the allotment. So that we do many courses, daytime courses, nighttime courses. So that's the centre itself. One of the new core subjects now will be sustainability. We've been directed that we need to do more with sustainability, actually deliver some courses. Because I teach horticulture, it was a fairly no-brainer that they would ask me to do the sustainability courses, because I already do a lot of sustainability in my horticulture courses. Now, at the moment, I don't yet have the training to deliver the level 4 course that like Olivia does here. That training will start in April. It's an 8-week course. When I finish it, complete it, we will start a level 4 sustainability course in September in the Clonakilty Centre, which I'm really looking forward to. But myself and my coordinator, who's Breed Murphy, we had a look at it and we thought, you know, there's a gap here between getting people from our current cohort and other members of the public to come in and getting to the place where we might do Olivia's course. Some kind of little step in is what we felt was needed. So last Monday, the 20th, before coming here, I started the first class in an 8-week entry-level class in sustainability. It's not certificated, there's no paperwork to do, we're going to do it kind of projects-based. And we thought we'd do that to kind of gauge what kind of people might we get on the course, what age group, and also to gauge what kind of sustainability literacy do they have, what knowledge do they have, but where are we starting at? So on the day came Monday, and in came the students. It filled up really quickly. People booked really fast on that course. We had barely advertised it. Within a week, it was oversubscribed. We had enrolled 15 people, 12 people showed up on Monday. Sunjay, how are you? Welcome. You come at just at the right moment.
So do I need to repeat it?
Yeah, no, you don't need that. You've heard enough of him anyway. So, so 12 people showed up, mostly women. Besides myself, there was 2 other men on the course, all around, let's say, 50 plus. And I decided to do it as more like a round table discussion group. And I simply asked the question, what do you understand by sustainability? And it was amazing the information that came back from this group. No one sat back and said nothing. Everybody contributed. I didn't need to encourage anyone to contribute. They were in on it like crazy. They were coming from all kinds of angles. One woman works in the tourist industry, has her own business, runs a caravan park, wants to make it more sustainable because she knows the amount of rubbish and litter that builds up, and people don't recycle. So she wants to figure that out. Another guy on the course, he is part of the Tidy Towns Committee. This is an awards given to lots of towns in Ireland for being clean and beautiful and having good tourist attractions, etc. Usually Clonakilty does really well with this. Unfortunately, last year they lost out because they did not get very good points in their sustainability section of the award system. So even in a simple thing like Tidy Towns competition, one of the metrics is sustainability. So it's really getting right into all kinds of levels of life. So they came on the course because they were looking for some kind of inspiration, looking to see what can we do better. Let me just check my notes now, just want to not diverge too much. Oh yeah, right, okay. Yeah, so then we discussed some definitions of sustainability. It's quite a big word, sustainability. It covers a lot of things. It covers environment, it covers work, it covers home life. And I wanted to look at, can we get a definition of sustainability? And for some people, it was doing more with less. And for some other people, it was more to do with caring for ourselves and for our planet. And so we thought we'd work with this. Now, the other thing I discovered as well is there was a lot of fear, a lot of worry, a lot of anxiety around sustainability, around the state of our globe, around the state of the world. And I felt like this wouldn't be helpful going forward. And there was a lot of overwhelm. People feeling like it was all too much, too difficult to cope with. So I felt like as a group, maybe we could scale everything down. And so we agreed as a group that we would approach this 8-week course from the point of view of positivity. What can we do as individuals in our own home that would be a big win for us, if even on the global scale it's a drop in the ocean? And can we just stay focused on that win? And can we put in simple, achievable, let me just recheck my notes here, folks. Simple, achievable, measurable goals that have fairly immediate gratification. So not an overly long project that you get to the end of 2 months, but something that will give some kind of immediate sense of doing well, achievement. And so how are we going to meet those goals? We had a little discussion again, because it's a discussion group, we're all adults. I don't want to be overly directing. We decided we would visit some sustainability sites. So these are areas that are dedicated to giving training in sustainability and helping people in the public to become more sustainable. So we're going to visit a place called the Hollies, which has actually been around for about 30 years in West Cork. It's run by a German couple who've lived there all that time, and they were doing sustainability before it became a thing. So we're going to go visit them. They deliver courses in sustainable building, using hempcrete, straw bale building, cob building, that kind of thing. Foraging courses, Olivia, foraging courses. And then we'll also visit a shop in town, in the town, that does zero waste. This is a fairly new thing in Ireland. They're cropping up a lot, in particularly West Cork, where you can go in with your own packaging. You can fill up on your nuts and seeds and your detergents, get your biodegradable toothbrush and tooth floss, whatever. And it's weighed and you pay and you go home and you put it in your own containers. Now, the reason we're going to do this is because that shop has been around for a year or so. And although all of these learners live in and around Clonakilty, some of them weren't aware the shop existed. And those who were aware of it had never gone in because they didn't really know how it worked. So I've spoken to the lady who runs the shop, and so after Easter we will all go in, and this lady has very kindly agreed to give us a little talk on how to prepare themselves and their home to make shopping in that shop much easier. So again, simple, achievable, measurable goals. And then finally, really, I'm going to keep this really sweet, short, sweet. And finally, the one thing that I found the most interesting and the most exciting is that these learners were extremely passionate about sustainability. They're from all walks of life. There are people you might think, just looking at them, they wouldn't know much about it. They're very passionate. And I think that if we can harness, and you were saying this about your students as well when we were talking this, the passion that people have for it, the interest. Like, I couldn't shut people up. We did a full 2 hours and I had to tell them to go home. You know,
and take breaks.
No breaks. But, you know, and you know, arguing respectively and disagreeing respectively, you know, respectively with each other. And I thought if we can harness that passion and we can keep our goals simple, measurable, achievable, and with some kind of fairly short-term sense of achievement, feedback, gratification, then the course could be really successful. And those people might well wish to come on to the Level 4 course that we're delivering in September. And then it's a step up. So starting with themselves and at home, and then moving to the Level 4 course, looking at more at their neighbours and their community. And staying positive is the main thing, because it's so easy to get overwhelmed. And one other thing as well is I should say that, you know, this group, one of the things I went back to my coordinator with that we discovered from this group was the time of day we're doing it is wrong. It's 1 till 3 on a Monday. Most people who have kids need to pick up their kids from school, get them looked after, so we've decided we'll run the course in the morning time, 10 till 12:30 or something. That way then we might be able to get in some of the parents from the community who have dropped their kids off to school, they've got some spare time, they can come on the course. And I think that maybe skewed the age range a little bit of who was available to come. So these are the things we discovered from running this short, even one class. So anyway, look, I'm going to leave it at that. It was lovely to meet you all. It was lovely to be here in beautiful Kushadasa and meeting you. You're fabulous. Keep up the good work.
Patrick,
Yes, yeah?
which age are your students?
At the moment, they're about 50 upwards.